Good morning, my dear children. Have a nice day. This is Aishwarya Lakshmi, your new social teacher. I hope you're all safe at home. In today's class, we are going to see a lesson in history. The name of the lesson is An Approach Towards the Past. In this lesson, we are going to see what is history and why it is important to learn history. We are going to identify the difference between prehistory and history. We are going to see the sources of history and prehistory. We are going to see the impact of geography on history. Now let us see what is history. The knowledge gained from the study of past is called as history. The people who describe the past are called as historians. They use the remains of the past as clues to find out what happened in the past. Let us see the importance of history. We come to know about kingdoms, dynasties, kings, leaders, and lives and activities of the common people by studying history. By studying history, we can understand both past and present. What is happening today will be tomorrow's history. History guides people to set goals and tells them not to make the same mistakes. We understand the continuous development of human beings by studying history. It includes the study of literature, religion, art, and architecture. We can easily understand the basic nature of our society by studying history. So, these are all the importance of history. Now, let us see the division of the past. Okay, the past is divided into two stages. One is prehistory and the other is history. Okay, what is prehistory? It is the period of human development when writing had not been invented and human beings did not know how to read and write. We can know the past only through archaeology. What is archaeology? It seems a new word, right? Yes. It means the science of exploring and digging the remains of the past. Okay. The archaeological remains like tools, coins, bones, pots, and jewelry helps us to know about the past. Now let us see what is history. It is a period for which written records are available. This covers the time period after the invention of writing. Early writing was done on the bark of birch trees, clay tablets, palm leaves, copper plates, and rock pillars. We learn our past through two sources of history. One is archaeological sources and another one is literary sources. Archaeological sources are non-written. They are artifacts, monuments, coins and inscriptions. Literary sources are written. They are religious literature and secular literature. Now let us learn about artifacts. What are artifacts? Artifacts are objects of different kinds made by humans in the past. Okay, these artifacts help us to understand the cultural life of the past. Objects like metal objects, pottery, tools and weapons, ornaments, jewelry, and sculptures are called as artifacts. Now let us see what are monuments. Monuments are old buildings, ruins of old buildings, temples, stupas. Stupas means a Buddhist worship place. Mosque, tombs. A tomb is a place where dead bodies are buried. Caves, palaces, and old settlements. The Harappa and Mohenjo-daro civilization help us to learn about the Indus Valley civilization over 5000 years ago. Coins are valuable source of information. These coins are made of gold, silver, copper, and other metals. They tell us about the economy of the kingdom, the periods of rulers, and trade activities with other regions. Now let us see what are inscriptions. Inscriptions are written records engraved on the rocks, metal pillars, copper plates, cave walls, walls of the temples, palaces, and on clay tablets. Inscriptions provide us important information about events, rulings, and declarations of ancient rulers. Inscriptions also deal with the administration and personal qualities of the kings. Now, let us learn about religious literature and secular literature. What are religious literature? Let us see. Writing that deals with the religion is called as religious literature. The Vedas, the Aranyakas, the Brahmanas, the Upanishads, Tripitaka, Dimpamsa, Mahavamsa, and Jataka are all the religious books of the subcontinent. What is secular literature? Yes, let us see. Writings which are not religious are known as secular literature. Historical accounts and biographies written by poets and foreign travelers. For example, Arthasastra written by Kautilya tells on how to run the government. It gives information about the Mauryan administration and contemporary society. Indica is a traveler's account written by a Greek ambassador known as Megasthenes. It tells about the great Mauryan king Chandragupta Maurya. I hope you might have understood what we have seen so far. We shall discuss about the geographical impact on history in the next video. Thank you, children.